Your forecast first, sponsored by Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Those winds are really howling out there tonight. Look at this, still 32 miles an hour in both Champaign and in Springfield, and those winds even extend all the way back into Iowa. Still close to 40 miles an hour in Davenport, and those winds are not going anywhere through the overnight hours. So you're going to still probably hear those winds outside your home and the windows there into early tomorrow morning. We've actually had a couple of sprinkles show up, even a few snowflakes in northern Illinois as a very weak system rolls through. Don't expect hardly anything from that, but you will find colder temperatures rolling in. We were well into the 50s today, now down to 40, and by morning, some areas could be in the upper 20s and near 30. For the kids at the bus stop, they will experience those breezy conditions early on, so bundle up. On the way home, only 43, a very big difference from what we've seen here over the last 4 days. We'll talk about how the temperatures do warm back up. Coming up, WCIA 3 News starts right now.
Now from WCIA 3 News.
Champaign-Urbana has a very strong live theater and film community.
But it's hard to act if you don't have a stage, and that's the reality some groups are facing as one theater shuts down.
We wanted to be able to help those families that aren't getting help from anywhere else, especially because there is a big, huge safety risk.
Plus, kids with sensory issues can be in danger if they get out of their homes. How one charity is stepping in to help.
A lot of people are worried about the spread of coronavirus, but could your pet also be at risk? What experts had to say.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 10.
This has been our home for a decade. This is a loss for us.
Another theater is shutting down in Champaign. This closure contributes more to the dwindling number of performing arts spaces in the city. Good evening, I'm Paul Cicchini.
And I'm Jessica Coons. The Soto Theater will host its last performances this weekend. The building will instead be leased to a bar and axe throwing business called Savage Axe. The theater closure has some performing arts groups questioning how to move forward and where to move next. WCIA 3's Jennifer Jensen is live in Champaign for us tonight. Jennifer, this place was used by a lot of people over the years.
Jessica, this venue has been home to places like Class Act, Twin City Theater, Zoo Improv, Prompting Theater, and more. Now, this closure also comes just on the heels of the Art Theater closing last year back in October. That's just a couple blocks down from where we are now, and it was also a beloved space in the theater community. There were already a limited number of options for these groups to both perform and rehearse, so now they're left trying to figure out their options. The Soto Theater.
This place has been a home to perform.
For many performers, this space has allowed them to free their creativity and practice their craft. From the people on stage,
Artistic effort, creative minds, physical work,
to those working behind the scenes.
the props, the costumes, building the set.
Their efforts all come together on this stage. But it's the end of an era as the Soto Theater prepares to close, displacing several performing arts groups.
I had a college professor who said, oh, you could perform anywhere. Well, you can, but we need lights, we need sets, we need audience, we need places to put them.
When considering other affordable venues in town, many don't fit what they need.
No stage, although there's space for a small platform. There's no backstage. There's no wings. There's no dressing rooms. There's no way for actors to get into the playing space without going through the audience.
The closure is difficult for some to process, especially when performing arts means so much to people like James Wachtel with Zoo City Improv.
It's very real. It's deeply human. It's only happening right now for this audience tonight, and then it's gone.
The same emotions run through Diana Pritchard's mind when she thinks about the impact of Twin City Theater Company.
Theater can make you laugh, can make you cry, can make you think, sometimes all in the same performance.
So what happens now? The future of their performance space remains in question. But much like improv, Wachtel says they'll wing it and figure it out one way or another.
This is going to work out. I don't know where we're going. I don't know what we're going to do next. I don't know how that's going to manifest itself, but we're going to continue to move forward saying yes to the world, and it'll be all right.
The theater groups tell me they have to be moved out by March 15th. I contacted the building owner to get more answers, both about this closure and about the new business opening up, but I have not yet received a response. Live in Champaign, I'm Jennifer Jensen, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
Those groups seem determined to find a new space, and hopefully they can. Jennifer, thank you. Theater students of Class Acts will have their final performances this weekend. The show is called Polka Dots, the Cool Kids Musical. It'll be this Saturday and Sunday at 2:30 and 5 p.m. One high school is christening its renovated auditorium with a weekend of performances. Students at Monticello High School are performing the musical Mamma Mia. The school finished work on the auditorium in time for opening night. Those performances run through Sunday.
The Champaign City Council approved an annexation agreement with Champaign Schools. It's for about 40 acres of undeveloped land between Olympia and Interstate Drives. That's where the school district wanted to build a new central high school. The attorney for Champaign Schools says there aren't any plans yet to sell the property to a developer, but the district wants to be sure if someone is interested, the property is ready to move forward with development.
The more issues that you can address up front, the better prepared you can be for when a developer does come to town and is interested in your property. The likelihood of the deal actually happening significantly increases.
If that land is developed, the annexation agreement says there will be an extension of Neal Street up to Olympian Drive. The annexation has not been scheduled. A village says it's in desperate need of firefighters. Tilton has a volunteer fire service and relies on 15 people for calls, but the mayor says it's difficult for them to be available throughout the day. He says if it gets bad enough, they'll have to go to a paid fire service, and that'll cost the community.
It's almost going to take a property tax to do that, to start paying benefits and have paid fire service. That's what we don't want to do, because this keeps the property taxes off and draws business to the community when you don't have to pay property tax. And that's going to be the last ditch effort.
He says you can fill out an application at the firehouse on Wednesday nights at 6 to see more of our interview with Mayor Phillips, during which he discusses other issues concerning the village. Head to WCIA.com.
New for you tonight, a Champaign County man was found guilty today of a 2018 murder. DeAngelis Chambers faces between 45 and 85 years in prison for shooting and killing 30-year-old Renice Riley. Police found Riley lying on Vaughter Street in Urbana after getting a call for shots fired. He later died at the hospital. Chambers will be sentenced in April. Several homes were damaged last night from gunfire. This happened in the area of Joanne and Honeysuckle Lanes in Champaign. Houses had bullet holes and broken glass. It's not clear if those homes were targeted. A woman is dead after a deer hit her car in Edgar County. Officials say a Jeep hit the deer on Highway 150 near Paris. 25-year-old Jordan Thorne of Terre Haute was passing the accident when the deer was thrown onto her vehicle. The deer went through her windshield and hit her. Her car continued down the road until it stopped in a ditch. The driver of that Jeep was not hurt.
The state is preparing for the possibility of coronavirus spreading across Illinois. And our studio smells like bleach right now because Kevin has wiped down everything in the Weather Center. Even though a 5th case of coronavirus was announced, state leaders are more concerned about how the 3rd patient was infected. Now, there is a chance that patient may have contracted it while in Illinois, not from traveling abroad. The governor says he has been keeping in touch with not only the CDC, but he has spoken to Vice President Mike Pence twice to monitor the spread. Carl Hospital in Urbana will start testing for coronavirus, but not everyone. It'll only test people in their emergency department who have traveled to affected countries, have contacted someone with it, and people with symptoms who test negative for the flu. Now, the hospital does not have enough supplies from the CDC to test everyone.
Concern about the virus is forcing the U of I to cancel study abroad plans over the upcoming spring break. This affects programs that involve flying, both international and domestic. Programs that don't involve flying are still being evaluated.
We're trying to do everything we can to ensure that people can continue making academic progress on their degrees, and that faculty can continue with teaching and research and public service, but that we keep our community safe. That's the #1 priority. If people aren't safe and well, they can't focus on anything else.
Their plan is to work with students who have already paid and were counting on those credits. They've also launched a dedicated website with a self-quarantine protocol and answers to frequently asked questions. A link to that is on our website. A dog in Hong Kong may be the first case of coronavirus in pets, but vets at the U of I aren't so certain. The College of Veterinary Medicine has been researching this. Their experts say there is no evidence dogs can catch the virus, and the one that tested positive may have had the owner's virus on them. They say they are keeping an eye on it.
Watch it and make sure it isn't something that's going to evolve or mutate into something that will affect our animal population. But the great thing is right now we feel very confident that the risk is very, very small.
The college does say it's possible for dogs to carry the virus on them if they're exposed. They also have a list of frequently asked questions on their website. We have a link to that on our website as well.
I'm just glad Kevin is being proactive about this.
But he won't share his hand sanitizer with anybody. It's off limits. People have been yelled at.
More
than one.
I bought a bottle. It was gone in 2 weeks.
It's like $100 a bottle.
It's very expensive right now.
All right. Well, you usually see orange and blue on the U of I campus, but tomorrow you should also expect to see a lot of green.
Plus, it's the start of a new charity, how they hope to help people with sensory disorders.
And there was a lot on the line tonight for Illinois basketball. A win would put them in a good spot for next week's Big Ten tournament. Did they get it?